Hi, everybody. We're still in the middle of our discussion on God's plan for marriage and family, and we haven't gotten out of Genesis chapter 3 yet. We want to look today just quickly at a passage which often, I think, causes some confusion amongst us. It looks like, oh, mean God, you rebel against me, I'm going to get it to you. We want to look at the punishments that God inflicts upon the man and the woman. We want to try to understand what it is that's happening here so that we might understand what it is that God's trying to do with you and me in our lives as well. So we looked last week at what it is that God says to the serpent, and we made the important distinction that the serpent is cursed. The man and the woman are not. So the serpent's cursed by God. The man and the woman are punished. Here's what God says. To the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply your pain in childbearing. In pain you shall bring forth children. Yet your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you. That's a perversion of what God had created and intended. The man was never supposed to rule over the woman. One of the horrible side effects of sin, one of the consequences of sin is this disfiguring of the relationship between man and woman. Man and woman were supposed to live in a life of mutual service for each other. There was supposed to be no superiority, no dominating, no conniving in being dominated. Now everything's out of whack, unfortunately. So that's a punishment of sin. And he said to Adam, he said, because you have listened to the voice of your wife and have eaten of the tree of which I commanded you, you shall not eat of it. Cursed is the ground because of you. In toil you shall eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns and thistles it shall bring forth to you, and you shall eat the plants of the field. In the sweat of your face you shall eat bread, till you return to the ground, for out of dust you were taken. You are dust, and to dust you shall return. What's happening here? I mean, is this, like God having a tantrum? How dare you? I give you all this, you rebel against me. You're going to have some pain, and you're going to have some pain. Is that what's happening here? I don't think so. What's the sin of the man and the woman? What is it that they do? They want to be like God. Remember, they eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil is to be able to determine for yourselves what is good and what is evil. That means you're standing in the place of God, and so they've cut themselves off from God. What's happening here is these are blessings, or maybe we might say they're punishments which are blessings. They may not seem that way at first, but they are. Why? Well, here's why. Because childbearing and work, creating things or making things, these are two of the most profound ways that man and woman can experience being godlike, if you will. It's no small thing to bring a child into being, which a woman does. She carries this life within her for 9 months and brings this life into being, cooperating with her husband and with the Lord. But now all of a sudden, in this moment where she is most, if you will, godlike, it's accompanied by profound pain, which I can't even begin to comprehend. I'm not going to try to say that. But that's what I hear from all my sisters, So childbearing comes forth with some pain. So all of a sudden, in this moment where I feel pretty godlike, I'm pretty aware that I'm not godlike, or it wouldn't hurt like this. Give me another epidural. Same with the man. The man is most godlike, if you will, when he's able to create things. This is a way that he participates with God's creativity. But now his work, which used to be effortless, now it's toil. Now he sweats. Now it's exhausting. Why? It's to remind him that he is not God. So the punishments which God gives to the man and the woman, these are gifts. They're gifts to remind them, to remind us, we need God. And they're intended to lead us to turn back to him and to ask him for his help. The key to being saved, is to know that I need a Savior. The key to being rescued is to know that I'm in trouble. Hopefully you and I know that. Maybe we don't, but hopefully we do. Hopefully we're aware of the fact right now that I don't think I'm God. My body's falling apart. I wake up and I hurt. Things aren't going the way I had intended. I need somebody. Is there anybody out there? And the answer is yes. So these punishments, these pains that we go through, this suffering that we experience now as a result of sin, isn't simply God going, ha ha, you're going to get yours for having rebelled against me. This is an act of love so as to lead us to turn back to him. Let's do that today. Let's, wherever we are, whatever it is that's going on in our lives, let's just say to the Lord, Lord, I need you. I desperately need you. I know that. Please help me. God bless.